Good boy. You're good. Good girl. You're a good girl. You guys are the best. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the More Motivation podcast. My name is Kruti Sandhya, and I am your co-host for today. We hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones and were able to eat some great food. I know I definitely was. So, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Excited to get the week started. As you mentioned, Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving hangover with eating food for 3 or 4 days. But I'm excited, locked in, ready to go for this message. It's a very, very important one to me, and I know it'll be a very, very important one to the audience.
That's great to hear. But as we always like to start our podcast, we like giving a shout out to a local business,
Yeah.
person, family. So, what's the shout out for today?
So today I want to shout out, and it has to do with the message that we're gonna deliver today. But I want to shout out the Ailers. They're my Missouri family, and there are many people that fall into this category. But I definitely want to give. That was just for all of the people that poured in, but definitely for the Ailers, like those people that show up at times when you don't know where you are and what to do, and they're there at the right time to make sure you keep going. And so those are very important people. And the Ailers, man, ever since I went to the University of Missouri, my freshman year, so this is a 30 plus year relationship. I just want to shout them out for the people that they were then and the people that they continue to be in my life. So I definitely want to give them a big shout out.
That's so heartwarming. Shout out to the Ailers. Um, going on to the next part, why don't you give us some feedback on last week's podcast of Lessons Within Lessons?
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, you killed that conversation, and I think it's an important space, and I think it was really good for you to be the one to deliver that message because of where you are in your journey, and it just your transitions that you've gone through, and the importance of the lessons within lessons and how they hit and how they manifested. So again, people just were able to relate. Our guy Mike, who's in a similar field than you, older than you, but he was able to directly relate with that message transition, where he was at certain points. People commented on where they were and not truly fully understanding the space that they were in, and then looking at it, man, this thing paid off because I did that way back when. And I wasn't even expecting that to be the outcome, but it did. So you did a really, really good job of delivering that message, and a lot of people connected with it.
Thank you. One compliment a year, so I guess I'm done
Yep.
for the year.
Yep.
Um, Now going on to what we have today. So, what do you have for the audience for
Yeah.
this week's podcast?
Yeah. So when we think about the world that we're in, where we talk about it a lot, where people try to fit in, right? Where people, they seek the applause more than the progress, right? They always seeking validation. My purpose in life is to get you to learn how to clap for yourself, right? To be happy with the person that you are. So that's the topic today, clapping for yourself.
That sounds very interesting. I'm excited to learn more about
Yeah.
it. So, can you tell us a little bit more about this topic?
Yeah. So when I think about this, I'll go right back to some of the spaces that I get a chance to speak. And it could be heavy with adults. It could be heavy with students. It could be a mix. But every time I get a chance to speak, and I'll go to this particular incident, like I said, we like to live in real time because we get a chance to do the speaking, multiple times throughout one week. A couple weeks ago, I'm giving a presentation, And kind of at the end, I always ask, like, I need at least 2 questions before we depart, right? And it could be students, staff asking. So it was a student that asked, like, why do you do what you do? So, and I get that question a lot, and I think it's just because of the passion and, the delivery of the messages. Like, why do you do what you do? My response was, because I care about you and love you. Like, that was my first response. And certain audiences, they're just not used to those words, so you get the people snickering. what are you looking inside to side? What are you talking about? And she repeated it. She said, no, like, why do you do what you do? I said, because I know the climate that we're in. I know the space that we're in today. I don't judge people by whether they're smiling or not. I know most people today try to fit in. They seek validation from others. They seek celebration from others. And what's missing is that they don't truly love themselves. They're the person that they are. So I said, my job is to get you to truly believe in yourself. Like, know that I'm someone that cares about you. I love you for who you are, not what you do. So I want to get you to be able to clap for yourself. Like, seek your own validation. Like, really, truly love yourself. So, and then all of a sudden, the crowd went silent. It was this, like, you can hear a pin drop, complete silence when I got a chance to explain that, which let me know that, like, there was a real connection with that message.
That's really powerful, especially like for my age group and the environment we're in with social media. It's like a lot of times everything we do is for seeking validation from others, someone giving us a compliment, someone making us feel better. And a lot of times it's not driven by ourselves. It may not even be something that we want to do. It's just something we feel like we need to do in order to fit in to the environment we're in. So going off of that, I remember one of our earliest podcasts on this topic was When the Celebration Ends. And a lot of the feedback we got from it was a lot of people rethinking their purpose and the reason behind why they're doing a lot of things that they're known for.
Right.
So can you revisit that conversation and talk about that again?
Yeah. So, and that kind of falls in line with what we were talking about when we said, when you just asked about that celebration, but the importance of it, but really truly remembering that conversation, Crew T, where we talked about when the celebration ends, right? So if you're just solely tied to the celebration, there's going to be like a critical moment transition of you really finding yourself, if that's all you live for. So there's a couple areas I want to talk about when it comes to what we just talked about and really tying it to that first message. The first one is understanding this. We all want validation of what we do, right? Like approval is a good thing, like at least to keep us going on that journey. One of the dangers is when that's the only thing you use for fuel. Like, that's the dangerous spot that you can get into, because now you only show up when people are clapping. Like, you only show up when people are applauding you. So that's the thing to make sure you recognize. There's one thing to do something and the applause, the celebration becomes a part of it, and it's just a part of that particular thing. There's another thing when it's your only fuel, and all of a sudden you become just totally driven and intoxicated by it, because it's an addiction now. It becomes an addiction for people. And just like any addiction, there are highs and lows. And when you find out when the people don't get it, they burn out, right? When they don't get it. Another thing to remember is the identity part. Right? The celebration of the thing you're doing can't be your only identity. And a lot of people fall into that space. So they may keep doing something that they're not even truly interested in, only because they're celebrated by it. But then once the applause stops, they're lost. Like once the applause is not there, once the celebration is not there, they completely lose their identity. So those are just a couple things and areas that really come into play when we talk about the addiction of the celebration, right? And then being able to truly clap for yourselves when that isn't present.
This ties into a conversation I was having with one of my friends a couple of days ago, and it was like intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about like the different schools that we come from, high schools.
High school,
And
yep.
USC is obviously a combination of public school, private school, large classes, small classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a public school,
Right.
variety of people, variety of experiences.
Right.
And my friend, she comes from the Bay Area in California, which is known to be a lot of competitive, smart kids at every school. So even if you go to a public school in the Bay, it's like going to a private school on the East Coast.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So it's just talking about how she brought this up. She's like, oh, wow, like you going to a public school and still being this driven shows that there needs to be some sort of intrinsic motivation.
Right.
Because there are so many ways for you to just fall out of that habit of getting good grades because of the other influences you have around you versus the extrinsic motivation that she thinks drove her most of the time because the fit-in part was getting good grades. So she was like, sometimes I don't really know if that's what I wanted to do or if that's what I had to do to fit in.
Right.
So that's what ties into this conversation of you don't really know what your identity is if you're just going around waiting for the claps and trying to fit in. And then you have that doubt in your mind of like, who did I do this for?
Right.
So going off of that, what are some of the ramifications when people don't know how to clap for themselves?
Yeah. So, and that segment, Crew T, man, and that very area that you're talking about, I found that out when I got a chance to visit.
Yeah.
You know, in speaking to the kids. So it's so true, right? Because you lose a man. That why am I actually doing this? But when we talk about the ramifications, we gotta understand, like there's a few things that have taken people and completely changed who they are because they don't know how to clap for themselves. And so when we think about comparison, when you do not understand how to clap for yourself, you fall into a world of comparison. Like, because that's all we're surrounded by with social media. Like likes, followers, like everything is comparison. And when you don't have the understanding of how to clap for yourself, you just naturally fall into a space of comparing yourself to others. And that's a dangerous space to be because that's your drive now. And then at the end, that's also your downfall. Again, we talk about losing your identity. Like, what does that look like? When you don't know how to clap for yourself, and that takes practice, just to understand, like it takes practice to clap for yourself. You got to be able to be in spaces and truly love yourself. But when you don't understand that, you lose your identity. So that's another ramification. I think one of the big ones too, Crew T, is I see people when they only seek the validation of others and the celebration, they are so fragile to every, I shouldn't say to every negative comment, but every comment that's not celebrating them, they perceive as negative. And it just have such a damaging effect on them because they're not used to celebrating themselves, right? They're not used to clapping for themselves. So that's just another important area to be able to recognize when it comes to that, when we're talking about the ramifications.
Honestly, all those things just attach to the fact of how much success you're going to have long term in my mind, because as you do become someone who's either in leadership positions at your job or you're striving for a goal where you're going to, let's say, be a professional basketball player, there's going to be negative comments that come. There's going to be someone who doesn't believe in your leadership strategy, or there's someone who doesn't believe in how you do a certain thing. And if you're just, I truly think, and this is something I'm working on, if I'm just waiting for everyone to agree with me, then I'm not getting anywhere.
Right.
Like, I know everyone's not going to agree with me.
Mhm.
That's why there's so many different people and opinions.
Right.
So it's so important to clap for yourself so that
Mhm.
when someone does disagree, you don't just falter
That's
and
right.
break.
That's right. That's right.
Going off of that, especially my generation, we're in a pandemic of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is looking to fit in, get likes, get reposts. People don't admit it because we like to think we're doing this for ourselves,
Right.
but this is something that motivates a lot of people.
Right.
Also comes with that, a lot of these people are trying to get a way out, but they just feel like it is necessary for them to fit in.
Right.
So what are some pointers to help individuals learn how to clap for themselves?
Yep. So I in your crew team. Oh, listen. The admitting part, like it's admitting that I'm in a space where I need the help. You're so right with that, but I'll go right to our 5 pillars that we use a lot. And they're the 5 pillars where your mentality, they're the 5 pillars that we use in leadership, success conversations, our presentations, like whatever we do, we drive the 5 pillars. And I really like to use those. So when we talk about discipline, like discipline we talk about in MooreMotivation is the no matter what, right? Show up no matter what. So like in this conversation, discipline is showing up for you. Like you are counting on you. Like the person that you want to be, the person that you is counting on you each and every moment. So it's important to say like, man, I'm not just showing up for this validation. I'm not just showing up for the applause. Show up for you. Like no matter what, you got to be able to show up for you. Commitment, like that's our second pillar. Our journey is social media just fools our brain, thinking everything is in real time. Like success happens in 5 minutes. Your success is a journey. It's a period of growth that takes time. You gotta commit to that. Like you gotta truly commit to sticking to the process. So there's a level of commitment that's required in order for you to understand this clapping for yourself. Sacrifice. Can you sacrifice recognition for your success? Can you say, I don't need the applause. Like in this, you gotta be able to sacrifice the recognition all the time. Everybody's not gonna just cheer for you all the time. That's not reality, right? Resilience. There are going to be moments where you're sitting here and I'm sitting here and it gets quiet. Can you come out of it successfully? It goes right along with sacrifice. And then being able to lock in and focus on the person you want to be. Like truly long term, being able to lock in and focus on that person. The journey is a part of the process. Struggle is a part of the process. Applause is not a part of the process. It's something in addition. So we got to understand that, on this journey of being able to clap for ourselves.
This has been a powerful message. I'm sure our audience has taken a lot away from it. So what do you want to leave everyone with?
So to conclude, we talked about when the celebration ends a while back. And transitioning and getting here to this point of being able to truly clap for yourself. So I really want to, and it's a tough question to be able to answer because we mask this thing called love. Like it's so many variations that people see of it. But do you really truly love yourself? Like, do you love the person that you are without any applause, without any recognition? Can you go home and be in a space and not get anxious because no one's celebrating you at the moment? Or do you, when you get in those spaces, there's an extreme anxiety that hits and you feel that you got to call somebody who praises you all the time. you gotta hop on social media and try to create an image that looks better than the person that you feel that you are. Like, we're just in a dangerous society, and that's what I want to ask, because when you aren't able to clap for yourself, you are not creating a bridge of success on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You're hoping that people are always there to move you forward. All right. So I just want everybody to remember that message and truly ask yourself, like, do you love yourself as you stand alone? So lock in.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us once again for our podcast. We hope you took something away, and you can always find us on Spotify, Podbean, or our More Basketball Clinic website. See you guys next time. Bye, everyone.
Oh, and don't forget, our HLM fundraiser is underway. We got the heavyweight hoodies, we got the dry fits, we got the long sleeve t-shirts, we got the crew necks. So our HLM fundraiser up to date, we've awarded nearly 30 students with scholarships from Connecticut over the past 4 years. And it's with your help. So if you want our items before Christmas, they're great stocking stuffers, great gifts for adults and kids. Feel free to contact us directly.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
I just want to thank my son, Kenrick Moore, for dedicating his life to helping our youth. I know it's a tough task, but keep up the good work with Moore Basketball Clinic. I'm proud of the man you have become. I love you.